Tell me there's something better. Go ahead, try. How I Spent My Summer Vacation by Peter Benjamin Parker. I can sum it up in one glorious, hyphenated word. Spider-Man. I am the spectacular Spider-Man!
Hello everyone, thanks so much for joining me here today as we get to talk about one of my favorite subjects, comic books. My name is Jose. I love comic books, I love talking about them, I love sharing them with you. Feel free to follow me on social media if you would like. Links are in the description below. I've also posted a link to the Marvel fan page that'll have plot synopsis and character bios for this issue. The Amazing Spider-Man 312 from 1988, written by David Michelinie, or Michelinie, and drawn by the one and only Todd McFarlane. This is an Inferno tie-in, only in that things are happening in New York, but not necessarily dealing exactly with the same stuff that the X-Men are dealing with. So we've got the Green Goblin here, and the Green Goblin is Harry Osborn, not Norman Osborn, and of course we also have the Hobgoblin here, and little old Spider-Man in the background here, trying to stop these two from killing each other. And a little piece here by the great McFarlane here. This was a great era. Man, Todd McFarlane was a superstar. What can I say? All right. We're in Long Island, the Goblin War, and of course here we get our credits. David Michelinie, Todd McFarlane, Rick Parker, Bob Sharon, Jim Salicrup, and Tom DeFalco, A Tale of Inferno. But as I mentioned, as in the previous issue, it's just because Inferno's taking place in New York, and the city's a little crazy. So here we have Harry Osborn. Too far, he's pushed me too far. Now I push back. Show him that no one mucks with the Green Goblin. So, it's very cool. Very cool. He's up in the attic. But I'm not the Green Goblin. I'm Harry Osborn. It was my father, Norman Osborn. So, we're going to get a bit of exposition here, kind of what's been going on. We continue here. Who was the real Goblin? He devised the serum that gave him super strength, designed the Goblin glider, and the pumpkin bombs he used for weapons. I just took that identity when Dad died for a short while when I was unstable. And that was like in the 121 or so. 100, that era of Spider-Man. So but things are different now. I have a wife, a son. I run the family business. At least I was. But this morning the Hobgoblin attacked my family, demanding to know where it was. When he left, he promised he'd be back if I lied to him. I'd understand, so I bought time by saying it was in my office in Manhattan. This was in Web of Spider-Man 47. And you can see Hobgoblin takes his little kid here. But for some reason, my memories returned instead. Memories of who I'd been. So, McFarlane with all those little ticks. Tick, 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 tick. So that he's just so famous for. And of what I'd hidden beneath the floorboards in the attic in case of emergency. We're going to see here 2 vertical panels. Todd McFarlane and Frank Miller are absolute masters of the vertical panels here. But do I really want to do this? When I was the Green Goblin, I became evil. What if? And so Liz calls out, "Harry, are you in there? We've been looking for you." And of course, he thinks here, "Liz and little Normie, I have to take the chance. I'm scared, but my family is at stake. And while Harry Osborn might not be able to protect them by all that is holy here," great panel here. And he puts on the mask here, but it's so freaking cool. The Green Goblin can. So, all right. And so the wife comes in and she's like, Harry, I thought I heard something breaking. Are you all right? And then she looks up and says, Harry? And we see the smoke and see that he's having issues controlling the glider. He goes, there we go. Starting to get the hang of it. Just wish I had more time to practice before having to bet my life on it. Another great panel. I love nice and big. Probably about half the page. It just looks awesome. And again, just how Todd McFarlane and Jim Lee with all those ticks. Meanwhile, just kind of watch the city also in the background because of course it is during Inferno. So and so now we are going here. We've got Peter with Mary Jane here. And they're looking outside going, man, this city does not look good. You can see a little thickness, and I'm wondering if Todd was rushing through these non-important scenes, perhaps. You can see just kind of blacks out and very, very thick here. And then just concentrating on the important stuff. So, all right, you're the news photographer, Peter, so tell me what is wrong with this picture. And Peter says, I don't know, Mary Jane. I've heard all kinds of rumors, but none of them make sense. I'm starting to get worried. I think I might run over to Queens and check on Aunt May. And then Mary Jane says, if you'll wait till I finish the magazine layout I'll go with you. And Peter says, oh, you're still posing for that jewelry ad? He asks. And she goes, the shoot's been moved indoors because of the weather, but a job's a job. Gonna head over to the Daily Bugle. And he says, yeah, I guess, like you say, work's work, right? And so they kind of both go, and you can see that there's a little uncomfort. And she's like, well, see ya. And then he's like, yeah, see ya. But Michelinie says neither wants to go. Both wait for the other to ask them to stay, but sometimes pride has its price. So, all right, now we're going back here. Beautiful vertical, or looking up, and he's coming straight down. There it is, the Osborne Chemical Company. But this is crazy. The entrance has turned into some sort of ice cavern. Hobgoblin doesn't have that kind of power. He says. So as you can see him coming up from there. Maybe I've been wrong. Maybe something else caused my memories to come back. Something that turned the inside of this skyscraper into a glacier. And then you see the Hobgoblin here. Osborne, you lied. Very cool here. And oh man, look at just Todd McFarlane is glorious. I really wish the dude would keep drawing. I know that he's got his toy company and that's his baby, but boy, I really miss his drawing. I even miss just his sketches. He used to sketch on YouTube, but he doesn't even do that anymore. So the presses are printing what? Pornography, Mr. Jameson's, and shutdown controls aren't responding. And Peter comes into the office. He's like, Jonah, I'm looking for work. Any stories you want me to? And he goes, stories? The Statue of Liberty snarled at tourists this morning, Parker. And the Staten Island ferry sprouted fins and swam to sea. The whole blasted city's a story. Just take pictures of anything. And I look at this. Oh, this is just so awesome. And then look at these ticks. Oh my goodness gracious. Don't mind our esteemed publisher, Peter. He's been dumping on everyone. And Peter goes, well, at least some things are still normal. And so, again, now we've got the Hobgoblin against the Green Goblin here. You've one less chance, Osborn. Where is it? And Harry says, I'm telling you, I don't know what you're talking about. And Hobgoblin is like, then perhaps you'll be more cooperative when your wife's blood's in my hands like crimson gloves. And he goes, Liz, no, as he reaches into the pouch and throws one of those bombs here. Blast, he's too quick. Banked his glider and deflected my pumpkin bomb to the floor. And so Harry goes, clip the wing. Being insane gave me an edge, a ruthless confidence, but now I feel fear, caution, and that's working against me. And another great, just goodness gracious, how he does capes, man. Do you guys miss McFarlane drawing? Man, I mean, he doesn't even do covers. It's just there's zero. There's such. I feel like it's such a wasted, not opportunity perhaps, but maybe it is. Just I would buy Spawn just if he just did one cover a friggin' month, one cover, and I would actually buy Spawn. Look at the ear, just McFarlane is so awesome. So anyway, Harry continues. Maybe this wasn't such a good idea after all, he says. And you can see the Hobgoblin shoots from within his gloves. And Harry goes, now he's shooting some sort of energy bolts. Got to dodge. And so now we're at Empire State University. And the security guard says, sorry, Paul, classes have been canceled. So many weird accidents. Staff only allowed inside. And Peter thinks, as a research assistant, I could probably get in. But with all the craziness going on, I'd just soon be home. And so while he's in campus here, at the cafeteria here, you see Kurt Connor. And he's like, coffee Eddie Black. Maybe it'll ease this infernal headache. And he's coming right up, and then he sees the lizard, and then he's back to normal. But we're going to see the lizard in the next issue here. And he says, something wrong? No, Doc. I guess I'm just seeing things too. Eddie seemed afraid of me, like when people used to act when I was a lizard. But that's really ridiculous. I don't turn into the lizard anymore, not unless I want to. That's one part of my life that I've got completely, as he walks through, under control, but he really does not. So, and so Peter goes back home here. We got a sort of a splash page covered with panels, which was just such a hallmark of the McFarlane era as well. And the doorman says, yes, sir, Mr. Parker. A messenger dropped this note for ya a couple of minutes ago. And he says, thanks, Wally. And it says here, it's from Liz Osborn. Phones must be down, and oh no, Harry's disappeared. She's worried he may have gone after the Hobgoblin. And with the police having their hands full, she hopes I can somehow use my newspaper connections to help. And so, of course, I love the shadow here. He's gonna go in as Spider-Man, but we continue here. Harry sent the Hobgoblin to Osborn Chemicals, so that's probably where he went to. Better get upstairs and change to my Spider-Man costume. I just hope that Mary Jane will be okay until I can check on her. Love the eyes, love the shadow. Beautiful, beautiful. And I love the Spider-Man. The other thing that I love is that he left this blank for the eyes. That's just awesome. So, speaking of Mary Jane here, she's doing her pose, but the gold is coming to life because, of course, as I mentioned before, it's Inferno, and then, of course, this nice pose here. And she's like, how do you kill gold? And wonderful stuff. McFarlane is he's so good. And so, another great pose here of our hero. This is spooky, says Peter. Fires everywhere, sirens screaming. It looks like Manhattan itself is actually changing. When MJ and I go to Queens to see about that maze, maybe we'll just stay there. But for now, there's Hobgoblin, and here's Spidey as he goes right through the window and hits Hobgoblin here. Hobgoblin used to be Jack-O-Lantern, a real second stringer. It shouldn't take me long to. And he says, no, he's mine. Of course, this is the second Hobgoblin. So, and then he, of course, sees Harry. And Hobgoblin's like, thanks for the distraction, Osborn. Now, where is it? And so he gets the gas here. So, perhaps a few razor bats will loosen your tongue. And so Spidey kicks him, and maybe this file cabinet will tighten your screws. Okay. Oh, I missed it. So yeah, the color, this kind of blends a little bit with that. So I didn't even notice the file cabinet. So I haven't read these in forever. So, and Harry says, "Stop it! My family's been threatened. I should be the one to protect them." And Peter thinks here, noble thought, Harry, but who's going to protect you? And suddenly his spider sense goes crazy, and I love that. And of course, here comes the glider through. Hobby sent his glider by remote control. Gotta use this second chance to find how far Harry's memory has been restored. And he says, better leave this to me. Go stay with a friend, maybe that Parker kid. And Harry says, no, I won't bring anyone else into this. Not Peter and not you. Stay out of it, he says. And Peter says, at least he doesn't remember my secret identity, but now what? Harry practically begged me to let him handle this as Spidey. Oh, sorry, this. Spidey. And then he gets his webbing stuck here. You're such a Butinsky. And so here, Mary Jane is gonna get rid of all these gold, and all the people go, oh, that's how you get rid of it. So snip, snip, splash, and then the gold is like still moving, and you can see. Imagine how I'm gonna sound in my insurance claim. So back here, we got Spider-Man following the Hobgoblin, and he goes, trying to sling me into the side of the building. No problem, though. I'll use my incredible acrobatic skills to, and then swing right into this water tower. And so Hobgoblin is still like, where is it, Osborn? Where? And Peter thinks, Hobby's getting away too far, nab with the web line. Got to follow as best as I can. I just hope I'm not too late. And he, Harry goes, never thought I'd wish I was crazy, but being sane might get me killed if, wait a minute, maybe that works both ways. My sanity, my reason could be the one advantage I've got over Hobgoblin. If I can forget the fear, clear my head long enough to think maybe I could survive this. And so he takes off here, and Hobgoblin goes, he's gone, but there's no place to hide. He couldn't have disappeared unless, and then he was above him, and he throws the pumpkin bombs here. He goes, I doubled back. It worked. Now to dump every pumpkin bomb in my satchel at once. Beautiful vertical panel here. As I mentioned all the time, McFarlane and Frank Miller are the vertical panel experts here. Hobgoblin might be able to nail some of them with his sparkle blast, but enough should still explode. And then another vertical panel here to do the trick as he goes down here. Glider's still functional, but hard to control. Can't, got to, and then he screams here, and then he crashes into that wall. Oh, that's just awesome. And Harry says, tell me, Hobgoblin, could you survive a sparkle blast point blank? You'll find out if you ever think of Liz and Normie Osborn again. And Hobgoblin's like, but the green formula, the compound that gave both our predecessors super strength, I must have its power. And he says, that's what this is all about. That formula was destroyed years ago. If it wasn't, don't you think I'd have used it against you, Hobgoblin? You're an idiot. And it says here, sometimes the truth hurts, as Hobgoblin screams in anger. And he's like, die. And so Spider-Man gets him out of the way. He says, not today, Hobgoblin. And Hobgoblin gets away here. And Spider-Man says, are you okay, Osborn? And he says, I guess. So thanks for saving my life, Spider-Man. And Peter says, you did pretty good on your own, pal. New York could always use another crime fighter, he says. I don't suppose you. And Harry says, hey, I'm not crazy anymore. Remember, I've got responsibilities. Maybe you'll understand that someday if you get married. And he's like, right. Forget I asked. And so, wonderful panel here. Another great McFarlane pose here. Harry's going to check on his family, and I better do the same. I just hope I'm not overreaching. I mean, something evil's happening to Manhattan. That's obvious. In the last couple of days, I fought living statues, ash monsters, even sentient vent pipes. And so you see all that coming through. But after all that, I just have to wonder, could things possibly get any worse? And so we, of course, end with yes, as we see the lizard. And then, of course, we get Inferno continues next issue. All right, Amazing Spider-Man number 312 by David Michelinie and Todd McFarlane. Like and subscribe. I do thank you for listening. Goodbye.